Welcome to the Essentra Health podcast series. I'm your host, Norman Weiniger, and in this series, as you know, we try to bring you helpful information to support your well being and to help overcome the many challenges that life can bring us. Our aim is always to bring you information or actions that support your well being and that are accessible to everybody. Now, today, I'm very excited because we're going to be talking about how parents can support their children during back to school season. As summer winds down and as the back to school season approaches, many parents and children find themselves juggling a mixture of excitement and stress. And we also know that returning to school isn't just a big change for children, but it's a big transition for the whole family. It means adjusting to new routines, earlier bedtimes, navigating school supply lists, and all the emotional ups and downs at this time of year. And all that can be a bit overwhelming at times. So it's normal to feel a bit stretched thin at this time of year. And that's why today we're going to dive into some practical parenting tips to help ease the return to school transition, both for children and for the grown-ups. So let's jump into talking about ways to bring a little more calm and a little more connection to this busy season. I'm happy to say that our guest today is Yeji Lee. Yeji's a licensed mental health professional and an EAP specialist here at Essentra Health and a mom herself. Welcome, Yeji.
Thank you so much for having me, Norman. I'm very excited to talk about this topic of return to school today.
Great. Now, Yeji, you're a mom yourself, so you can probably attest to the big emotions and the stress that any transition routine can have on the family unit, especially with young children. Can you talk about some of the common emotional or behavioral challenges that children face during the transition back to school?
Absolutely, Norman. We can all agree that starting a new school year isn't just a change in routine. It's an emotional change as well. So while there are some exciting components to this time of year, for a lot of children, this time can be stressful and anxiety inducing, especially for younger children who kind of thrive on set routines or schedules. So if we dive into the specifics, one of the bigger issues for young children is something called separation anxiety. Um, After a summer of being home or in a relaxed routine, suddenly getting dropped off at school can feel like a very big emotional leap. Actually, according to the Child Mind Institute, about 4% of school age children experience school refusal behavior, which is often rooted in anxiety. Another challenge can be mood swings or behavioral outbursts, which can include things like tantrums, irritability, clinginess. Those can all be signs of emotional overload, not necessarily defiance. Transitions are hard, and kids don't always have the words to explain these big feelings that they may be feeling. And researchers have actually linked big schedule changes like going back to school to increases in emotional dysregulation or difficulty controlling emotions. Another big topic is social anxiety. Children, they might worry about who they're going to sit with at lunch or whether they're going to fit into, new groups of children at school. And actually, the American Academy of Pediatrics notes that about 1 in 10 kids experience social anxiety, and that social anxiety often spikes at times like this. And finally, academic pressure, especially for older children. The children to the pressure to perform can actually show up early and quietly. You might notice symptoms like headaches, stomach aches, or avoidance when children are dealing with this kind of academic pressure. In fact, the Pew Research found that over 60% of teenagers feel pressure to get good grades at school. So, if your child seems a bit off during the back to school season, just know and understand that it's totally normal. These emotional bumps are part of the adjustment. And, as a parent, your calm presence is one of the most powerful tools you can have.
No, I think that's a great point, Yeji. There's certainly many ways that the stress can be expressed, and parents can play a key role in that. Can you talk about how families can go about creating smoother routines to alleviate the stress?
Yes. As we all know, one of the easiest ways to cut down on the chaos is to prepare the night before. So, small things like laying out your clothes, packing lunches, double checking backpacks so that, it's ready to go in the morning. It's things that may only take you 10 minutes, but it can actually save you double that time in the morning. For younger children, you may try a visual schedule, so something that they can see and follow without the constant reminders from mom or dad. So that might include things like pictures for brushing teeth or getting dressed and grabbing their backpack. It serves as a reminder for children in the busy morning, and it kind of helps to foster independence and keep things moving. Another great tip is to stick to a consistent wake up time, even on the weekends if possible. So I think that really helps children maintain their internal clocks. It helps it stay regulated, and it can make mornings a lot smoother. Moving on now, let's talk about the evening. So, similar to a consistent wake up time, a good wind down routine is also very important. So, things like aiming to turn off screens about 30 minutes before bed and replacing them with calming activities such as, reading a bedtime book, drawing, or quiet music. This kind of signals to the brain that maybe it's time to start settling down and get ready for bed. Also, try setting a regular time for homework check-ins. So, helping your child get into the habit of reviewing what's due the next day, packing up their backpack, and feeling ready for the next day. And to help with bedtime transitions, consider using soft cues like a bedtime playlist, or, I know some people like to use some kind of like a white noise or dimming down the lights. And finally, building in a few minutes for connection. So that could be a short chat with your child on maybe how their day was, some exciting moments from their day, a bedtime book, or some, snuggle time. Kids who feel emotionally connected tend to settle down faster and sleep better. So, just a reminder that routines do not have to be rigid, but having a predictable rhythm to your day can make school days feel somewhat more manageable for everybody.
Those are some great suggestions, Yeji. More switching gears to talk about the topic of parents, what are some ways that occur to you that parents can manage their own stress while supporting their children during transitions like this?
Right. I think parents have a crucial role in how they handle the stress from big changes, thus how they support their children. So, as a first step, it could be as simple as checking in with yourself. So, looking at this from a self awareness aspect, how does stress show up for you? Maybe you become short on patience in the mornings, or you're feeling totally wiped by dinner time. It's not a failure. It's a signal from your body that maybe you are feeling stressed. And it could be a great time to reflect on what your mind and body needs, whether that's a quick breather in the form of a break or a change in routine. Speaking of breaks, I think it's also nice to build in buffer time, even if it's just 10 minutes in the morning before the day starts. You know, step outside, drink your coffee without distractions from the kids, stretch, or simply just sit and meditate in silence. These small pockets of calm can actually reset your mindset before the morning rush and make a big impact on your mood for the rest of the day. Personally, I like to wake up 20 to 30 minutes before my child does, and that just helps to kind of get my day started in some peace and quiet. And it helps to prepare myself to be a little bit more calm and collected for when I wake my child up, who may or may not want to wake up and go to school depending on the day and their mood. Another thing is during the day, don't underestimate the power of a micro break. So that's kind of like a short break in your day, whether that's a short walk, a few deep breaths as you're sitting, even just, quickly stepping away from your desk for a moment. That can help to manage stress levels and keep you from burning out before the day is over. Another great tip is to protect your energy. This season gets very busy very fast, and it's okay to say no to some things where if it kind of leads to overscheduling. So just remember that every yes costs time and capacity. So just, make sure that you're budgeting enough time for both yourself and your child. And lastly, I want to add in that if you are feeling overwhelmed or burnt out, or just need someone to talk to, you have access to confidential professional support through your employee assistance program. So, whether that is speaking with a counselor, or getting parenting resources, or finding ways to better manage your time and stress, we are here to help. Also, don't forget about the power of community. Connecting with other parents, whether it's, your coworkers, friends, or a support group, it can remind you that you are not alone. A quick chat or even just a shared laugh can actually make a big difference in your day. So I want to conclude that as you support your child's transition back to school, remember to support yourself as well. You're not expected to do this perfectly. You just have to take care of the person that your child depends on the most, which is you.
Yeah, G, that is great information, and everything you mentioned today is great information. I'm sure it'll be very helpful to a lot of people to help the return to school season be a little less stressful. And thank you so much. And with that, folks, we conclude today's podcast. And on behalf of everyone here at Essentra Health, thank you for listening.